teachers and dear colleagues. It's a pleasure for us to receive in this scenario one more time and present all of this type of conference. I hope that you have a lot of information, a lot of knowledge about our speakers on this time. Let's gonna receive to our presentation about burnout among pre-service teachers, understanding the phenomenon. This conference is following for Ana Clara Sanchez Solarte, PhD. Let's gonna receive warm applause.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to be here this afternoon. I would like to thank Dr. Ujauri for her kind invitation to participate here. And I am very pleased to see familiar faces, and I'm very pleased to be here with all my students and teachers from Universidad de Nariño, Colombia. So, okay. So without further ado, let's begin. Good. Yeah, I think so, because I to be able to see better. Yes. Can I get that? Oh no, I think I if I move a little bit here. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. All right. So let us begin. Next, please. Very well. My presentation is about burnout. It's about an emotion, an emotional state, something that is not widely studied in our field, but we are beginning to notice emotions. And first of all, how can we define emotions from the point of view of research, from the point of view of, let's say, science, right? Not our perception of emotions per se. So we can say that emotions are a complex collection of automatic, this is important, sometimes emotions appear without us being able to control them. So they are automatic or learned brain responses to an ECS, which is an event or an object that triggers an emotion. And as we know, some emotions appear without having the event or the object. Sometimes just remembering something that has happened to us triggers a certain response. Emotions initially appear to help us survive. Okay, that was the main function of emotions was helping us survive. Nowadays, we don't need to survive, but they are equally important, especially in the classroom. Next, please. Specifically, we're going to be talking today about burnout. So burnout is an overwhelming feeling of not being able to cope with the task that you have at hand. It was first coined by Freudenberger in 1974, and it means that you become exhausted by making excessive demands on yourself, on your energy, on your knowledge, on your resources. And specifically, this was coined for the workplace. But, and this is important for us, nowadays we're studying it in the classroom context. Next, please. So, as I was telling you, Freudenberger coined the term in 1974. So this is 51 years old. But we have made some progress in regard to how burnout is analyzed. In 1981, something very important, Maslach and her colleagues created the MBI, which was the first instrument to measure burnout. And then, can we go back to the presentation, please? Thank you. And then, in 1988, it was the first time that some professions were linked to burnout. For example, people who work in prisons, people who work in health services, and teachers. So we are in that category. Later, the concept of burnout was how can we say this? It was applied to other areas, not just work for these professions, but all professions in general. And nowadays, we have that the World Health Organization has categorized burnout as a disease, as an occupational problem, especially for teachers. Next, please. La siguiente, por favor. Thank you. So, a model to understand burnout. So, how can we translate all these ideas from health, from workplaces, etc.? There is a model by De Meruti and Schaufeli, which I have used in my research. And this is the model. The idea is that you have resources and you have demands. When you have a similar amount of resources and demands, you can do what you're asked to do. So imagine, you have to read 1 article or 2 articles in a week. That is doable. The demand is fine for the resources. But when you have more demands than resources, burnout appears. So what are the demands for our students? Because the purpose of this presentation is to talk about our students. The amount of study material they have, maybe they are doubting the career choices they have made. They have negative relationships with teachers. The number of courses that they are taking, sometimes people are very ambitious and they take more than they can do effectively. Performance anxiety, especially for us who speak another language. Lack of fairness in assessment, and long study hours. Those are the demands for our students, and we recognize them because we have been there. Now, what are the resources that we have? We think that, okay, this is hard, I feel bad, but I am going to graduate, I'm going to get a job, I'm going to travel, I'm going to learn another language. The possibility of development. Then the perceived support of professors, experience in advance and improvement in skills and competence, when you feel like, yes, this course was very difficult, but now I notice that I have learned a lot. The idea of your self-efficacy, which is thinking that you can do what you're supposed to be doing, and your family support. So when you have an equal number of demands and resources, you're okay. When you have a little bit of stress, you're still okay. When you have a lot of demands and no resources, that's when burnout appears. Siguiente, por favor. So why should we be studying burnout in foreign and second language education? Why is it important? Because research tells us that it has a lot of consequences on our students. For example, disconnection or cynicism about classes, like, estoy rajado, tengo la materia en 0, no me interesa, right? Reduced academic efficacy, volvamos por favor. Turning incomplete assignments, this is a sign of burnout, and this can be important because sometimes we think like, este estudiante no entrega las cosas porque no quiere, este estudiante realmente es porque no le importa mi materia o yo le caigo mal. It can be a sign of burnout, turning in incomplete homework. Absenteeism and depression symptoms. La siguiente, por favor. Then other symptoms. Chronic mental, emotional, or physical exhaustion, simply leaving, just dropping out of the university, dropping out of college, having lower academic motivation, decreased engagement, decreased study effort, and decreased performance. So this is what research tells us about burnout, okay? This is not just perception. This is what we know. These are the real consequences of burnout in our students. So all in all, burnout is a predictor of impaired academic achievement. And this is particularly important for us because we are all in the same situation. The government is evaluating the students' performance. The government is evaluating the program performance. The government is evaluating professors through the students' performance. So when burnout is a predictor of impaired academic achievement, it should matter to us. So this is the study I conducted. These were my 3 research questions. How can current burnout levels among pre-service language teachers in Colombia and Ecuador be characterized? What factors contribute to these levels? And finally, how do pre-service language teachers cope with burnout symptoms? In order to do that, I applied the burnout assessment test, 23 items, created by Schoeffeli and DeWitt, a validated instrument with a high Cronbach alpha. And I added 1 open-ended response. Siguiente, por favor. So who were the participants? We had a total of 145 students, pre-service language teachers. We had 102 students from Colombia and 49 students from Ecuador. Okay? So we had a mixed population here, and I want to thank Marjorie Perlaza because she was kind enough to allow us to apply the measurements with her students, and I think that we can continue working together in the future. So thank you very much for that. Siguiente. So what are the results of my study? First of all, these are the cutoffs. So anything under 2.53 means that you are not suffering from burnout. Good news. Medium burnout goes from 254 to 2.95. Then you are at risk. And Schoeffeli and DeWitt created this like traffic light system. When you're in the green, you're fine. When you are in the orange, you're at risk. And when you are in a score in red, you are experiencing high burnout. Okay? So these were the cutoffs. Now let's see the results for the participants. The conclusion is that students in Colombia and Ecuador are at risk. The mean for the overall mean is 2.74. From the different dimensions of burnout, there are around 3-4 dimensions. It really depends on the instrument. But from the dimensions that I studied, exhaustion is the highest score. So you are, or Colombian and Ecuadorian students are at risk, and exhaustion is the hardest, right? So when you say, pero exhaustion is okay, o sea, solamente es estar cansado. The importance of exhaustion is that exhaustion paralyzes you. When you are exhausted, you do not act. You are just, you drop everything. You avoid work. And that is going to have other consequences. It was found that female students, pre-service language teachers, experience higher burnout than male students. And there was really no significant differences. There were no significant differences between Colombian and Ecuadorian students. So it looks like we share the same stressors, we share the same circumstances, we share the same contexts, and we experience burnout in a similar way. It was found also that the people who experience burnout the highest were people from 4th to 7th semesters. Initially, people who are from 1st to 3rd semesters, they seem to be okay. They have lower burnout levels. But then between the 4th and 7th semester, we have higher scores. Why? That is something that we might research in our next study, right? Our students gave us some reasons for burnout, but it would be interesting to know why they get more stressed out, they experience more burnout from 4th to 7th semester, and at the end of the program, they seem to be okay with that, despite having to do practicum, despite having to do their graduation papers. So it is interesting to see these elements here. So these are the 4 areas analyzed in my study: exhaustion, mental distance, emotional impairment, and cognitive impairment. Cognitive impairment was the 2nd highest score. It means that people have memory problems, attention problems, and concentration deficits. But we cannot say that it's burnout fault, right? Our students are addicted to dopamine, addicted to screens, addicted to short-term attention spans, addicted to quick rewards. So being in a class, making an effort, thinking about the future, may not be something that is common nowadays. This is what our students reported as the main causes for burnout. First of all, academic workload and time pressure, perceived lack of institutional and instructor support, emotional stress, assessment-related pressure, sleep and health issues, and finally, personal or financial concerns. Regarding academic workload, well, it is important to understand that you are in college, that our students are in college. It is expected to have a heavy workload, but sometimes our students' expectations don't match our expectations. So we need to work on that to prevent mismatches, so that our students know why they are doing what they are doing, so that they understand the long-term goals, so that they can commit and engage. The perceived lack of institutional and instructor support. And the key word here is perceived, because people say, es que ese profesor no me cae bien, ese profesor es el colmo, nos pone a leer muchísimo, es el colmo ese profesor porque es exigente, es el colmo porque no nos deja tiempito libre. So this is the perception that students may have. So again, it is important to establish clear goals, make your goals known to your students. Tell them what you expect from them clearly. Transparency in assessment, transparency in the contents, in the activities is key for this. Something very important, sleep and health issues. Our students don't sleep enough. They spend the night chatting, they spend the night downloading movies, watching things, playing games, and when they come to the university, they are exhausted. So it is also important to think about how I contribute to my burnout levels. These are some findings. These are things that our students said in the report. This is something that students from Ecuador reported. Aún estando en prácticas y los profesores sabiendo, no nos entienden y envían demasiados trabajos que no tienen relevancia al idioma inglés y mucho menos a la enseñanza del mismo. Dicen que hemos bajado el rendimiento, pero en realidad estamos cansados mental y físicamente. So this agrees with the quantitative data, that exhaustion is the highest, is the strongest symptom that our students report. Sigamos. This is reported by a student from Colombia. Algunos compañeros no tienen conciencia de su futuro y su carrera. Interrumpen clase, llegando tarde, no haciendo tareas, molestando a los otros, son irresponsables en los trabajos en grupo, y si los grupos se dividen o se mezclan o los horarios se cruzan, hay que trabajar con personas con las que uno no se lleva bien. Los profesores a veces no hacen caso del comportamiento de los estudiantes y les da lo mismo si hacen las cosas. No hay consecuencias y a veces pasan todos unos sin méritos. So this is important. As teachers, the rules that we set in our classrooms, the expectations, the way we organize group work may have an impact on how our students see their work and experience our lessons. So what are the suggested strategies? This is why we are here today. Yes, we have all these problems, we experience these, we have the data, we have evidence that this is happening. So what? What do we do now? There are, again, research-based, evidence-based strategies that you can apply as individuals to do this, or things that you can apply in your classroom, things that you can incorporate in your lessons. Number one, schedule regular breaks after 45 or 60 minutes of work. Sometimes students say, no, este fin de semana me trasnocho. No he leído en un mes, pero voy a ponerme a leer y en 2 días lo saco. No, you won't. Your brain is tired. Your long-term memory is not going to work that way. Pay attention to sleep hygiene, since poor sleep quality correlates with burnout. Again, I already told you, students stay up late, they are chatting, they are watching series, they are binge watching things. So pay attention to how many hours you sleep. Number 3, reframe thoughts and regulate emotions. How do we do this? Siguiente. Positive reframing is done when you're grateful even in a challenging situation. When you say, me rajé, yo no sirvo para esto, es que el inglés es dificilísimo, el francés es dificilísimo, yo para qué me metí a esto. No, try to reframe the situation, okay? Think about, okay, this is difficult, but I have made it this far. If you're in 5th, 6th, 7th semester, está súper difícil, pero yo ya llegué hasta 5º o hasta 6º semestre. Algo debo estar haciendo bien. Yo puedo. Algo está funcionando. Parece grave, pero no va a ser tan grave. Voy a reframe the situation. Acknowledge your responsibility in managing your feelings. The only people living in your head with your thoughts is you. So you need to take responsibility for changing that. Identify extreme language like I always. Es que a mí siempre me va mal. Es que a mí nunca me va bien. That is not true. So eliminate the always and the never. Take a long-term perspective. Again, things may be difficult, but in a year or 2, you will be graduated. You will be doing something else. Have realistic expectations about your work, and use statements like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. It's difficult, but I can do this. Siguiente. To build resilience, how do you do that? Connections, people, real friends, people around you. Find support in your classmates. Find support in your friends, your family, your instructors. Find support in the people in college, right? Find someone who can support you. Work on self-care, that is, eat well, sleep well. If you need to, find counseling, and just do the work. Identify goals. If you don't know what you're doing here, if you don't know why you're studying what you're studying, create, establish goals. That is important for you. Celebrate your strengths and hard work, right? It's impossible that everything is bad. So even if it's a tiny milestone, a tiny achievement, celebrate it. And something important, something interesting that again has been research proven is self-soothing touch, right? What is self-soothing touch? This is a technique that if applied only for 20 seconds is going to help you decrease your burnout. And it works like this. Placing your hands on your left side, because this is where your heart is. Placing your left hand on your stomach. Stroking your arms like this. Stroking your cheeks. Focusing on feeling the warmth of your hand, on the pressure. Breathing. So these are the self-soothing techniques proven to decrease your stress, proven to decrease cortisol levels, etc. So these are things that you can do in your class or as an individual. Siguiente. Planning, very important. I know that we're Latin American people and we tend to be like, oh, we're going to do things on the spot, but that may lead to burnout. So planning can help you decrease stress. Or, for example, if you're not very big on planning, at least break down the task that you have into manageable sizes. Tengo 7 artículos para leer esta semana. Y tengo 7 días. Un artículo por día. No 7 artículos en un día. So break down the task into manageable sizes. Be realistic about your workload and objectives. Don't be like, es que voy a revisar Instagram 10 minuticos y luego me pongo a hacer la tarea y los 10 minuticos se transforman en 3 horas y ya no hice la tarea y llego mañana y la bajo de ChatGPT y todo es un desastre. Create and follow a schedule and, very importantly, rest, take breaks. So this conference is about the use of artificial intelligence. So to help you plan, right, which is one of the important tasks for pre-service language teachers and for teachers, I have found some strategies that can help you do your studying and your planning more effective. So these are some inteligencia artificial based strategies. What are the tools? The first strategy, as I told you, is setting goals. If you don't have a goal, and I always tell this to my students, si ustedes no tienen un objetivo claro, están yendo a 100 kilómetros por hora, pero no saben a dónde van. You have to have a goal. What is my goal? Tengo que mejorar pronunciación porque mañana tengo práctica y hay varios verbos que no sé cómo los estoy pronunciando y van a ir a observarme. What is your goal? What is your goal? So set goals and plan, because that prevents cognitive overload and avoids the feeling of just being overwhelmed by work. What artificial intelligence tools can you use to do this? There is one called VoiceSet. All these tools have the free version. Some of them are completely free. Some of them have a free version, and then you have to pay for other features. But in general, this is what you get for the free version of them. For VoiceSet, you get a study planner, an organizer for your week. You can transform the recordings of your classes into notes, and there is a Pomodoro timer, right? The Pomodoro technique means that you focus for a specific time, rest for a specific time. Focus, rest, focus, rest. And that way you learn more effectively. iWeaver works with helping you with goals. It organizes your deadlines. It prioritizes your tasks to create a balanced study plan. And there is one called Trevor, which supports being accountable, right? This one tells you, you need to do this. Remember, I am not going to let you get away with this. You need to work on this. So this is for setting goals and planning. Siguiente. For reducing cognitive load and deciding, ¿qué hago? Tengo 5 tareas, ¿cuál voy a hacer? MindGrasp allows you to upload class recordings, PDF notes. It allows you to do many things. You can upload notes, you can upload images, right? A lot of everything that you have. Todos los pantallazos que tomé de las PowerPoints del profesor, todas las cosas que nunca he visto, las echo allí, boom, todas. And this is going to help you prioritize, clarify, set the important tasks first, and reduce study load. And it can support effective study sessions. For the next one, also working with cognitive load, avoiding the feeling of being like, tengo que hacer de todo y estoy paralizado y no puedo hacer nada. You can use My Map study plan, which is going to establish a schedule for you. Very convenient, because it's going to help you fill in the blanks. If you have 1-2 hours free, it's going to help you fill in those blanks with what you need to do. And another one is Mindco, which is a study tool. Study tool means that it's going to summarize your articles and documents for you. Okay? So it's a very fancy word for it's going to do what I am supposed to be doing. There is another one, a strategy, which is journaling, which helps you decrease your emotional impairment. It helps you decrease isolation. It helps you decrease those moments of, what am I going to do? To do that, journaling is a really good strategy. And there are 2 tools that I am suggesting here. AI journaling, which has mood check-ins. Like every day you log in, it asks you, how do you feel today? They give you like a meter, right? And it's going to tell you, are you overwhelmed, sad, fine, wonderful, I couldn't be better. And there is another one, Smart Diary, where, and again, this is doing for you what you are supposed to be doing. You just input a few words, and Smart Diary is going to write your diary entry for you, which I don't think is really good, but imagine that you're overwhelmed and you cannot even journal. Maybe this can be used in one of those days, not always. Now, of course, AI, or the artificial intelligence, is a wonderful tool, but we need to be aware of the consequences of using that tool. So, very briefly, I want to address the ethical use of artificial intelligence. This is from last week. It says, la ONU pide frenar la expansión de los centros de datos que alimentan la IA porque amenazan el agua y la energía. In Argentina, in Chile, I don't know how expanded these are in Ecuador, but the centros de datos are not good. They take land, they kill the land, they take the water, they evaporate water. The water doesn't get like, oh, no, se le ensucia y luego vuelve. No, it's gone. The water is gone. And that's why people with power, with money, are coming to our countries to take land, space, and water to make these things work. So think about how we are using the artificial intelligence. And this is another one. AI data centers in Texas use 463 million gallons of water, as residents are told to take shorter showers. So think twice before asking the AI, ¿con quién me voy a casar? ¿Con qué signo soy compatible? ¿Cómo me veo mejor, rubia o con el pelo rojo? Think about those things, because this is what you are doing with water. Okay, so be careful with that. Siguiente. And this I found actually in one of the tools that I suggested today. And it is very interesting because they understand what they do, but they give you the responsibility. It says, using AI to blindly copy answers for an exam is cheating. They address it, they understand it. It undermines the learning process and violates academic integrity. However, this is the interesting part, the technology itself is not inherently unethical. The key lies in its application. So they know that you can cheat, but then they tell you, but the technology is not something that you can use to cheat. It's basically your decision, right? Damn human, don't do that. So they suggest how we can use the artificial intelligence. They say, use it to verify. Complete the problem on your own first, then use MindCo. This is the tool where I found this information, to check your work and identify mistakes. Siguiente. Use it to understand. When you're truly stuck, use it to get the solution, but then immediately dive into the step-by-step explanation and use the AI chat to ensure you grasp the underlying concepts. So they tell you, you can cheat, but then do this so that you don't feel bad for cheating. Use it to overcome roadblocks. Use it to get past a single frustrating problem that's holding you back so you can move on with the rest of your assignment. And finally, they say, and this is the interesting part, siguiente, over-reliance is a real danger. Over-reliance on AI. So the people who created this AI tool tell you that the AI is dangerous. Studies suggest that while AI can boost scores initially, superficial engagement can lead to poor long-term retention. The risks for misuse are real and growing, right? So this is an invitation to make a critical, reflective, metacognitive use of AI tools as teachers, as future teachers, and as students. Siguiente. So to conclude, emotions are short-lived. An emotion lasts between 15 and 60 seconds, right? When you get scared, when you see a big spider in your kitchen, when it's Halloween and someone wears a mask, that lasts 15 seconds. But the effects of burnout, of anger, can be long-lasting and affect student performance. So attention needs to be paid to how students identify and manage emotions. Siguiente. Very importantly, there are things that we cannot control, right? But this is one that we can control in the classroom. Positive teacher-student relationships are negatively related to student burnout, and a supportive school climate may mediate this relationship. How? We don't have to become our students' best friends. They already have friends, their age. So you can be friendly, you can be transparent in assessment, you can be organized, you can provide a variety of activities, you can provide specific times, clear deadlines. That is going to create a supportive school climate that can help decrease burnout in your students. Siguiente. So in the study, severe manifestations of burnout were not prevalent, but early signs of emotional and cognitive strain need attention due to their connection to academic and professional challenges. Addressing these issues through curricular adjustments, institutional well-being initiatives might support the pre-service language teachers before entering the profession. Thank you very much. This is what I wanted to share with you today, and it has been a pleasure to be here.
Okay, let's gonna give a warm round of applause for our dear speaker, PhD Ana Claire Sanchez. Yeah, and now let's gonna invite to Magister Marta Viveros, teacher in charge of SID and UPEC, to share some important information about postgraduate program of our university.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. How are you doing?
Good.
Good, great. Have you learned a lot till now? How's Sulcan? Wonderful. You were lucky. It is usually a little bit cold here. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm really happy to share with you some information about our master's program here at the university. It's a true pleasure for me to stand before you today to share an exciting opportunity for all those who are passionate about education, language, and the power of communication. The master's degree in Pedagogy of National and Foreign Languages with a mention in English teaching, offered by Universidad Politécnica Estatal del Carchi. At UPEC, we believe that language is more than just a means of communication. It is a bridge that connects cultures, ideas, and people in a world that is becoming increasingly globalized. The ability to teach and inspire through language has been more important. This master's program is designed precisely for that purpose, to prepare highly qualified professionals capable of transforming language education in Ecuador and beyond. Through an innovative curriculum, this program integrates advanced pedagogical theories, cutting-edge teaching methodologies, and research-based practices to equip our students with the tools they need to excel in the classroom. Whether you are an experienced teacher looking to enhance your professional profile or a new educator seeking to make a meaningful impact, this master's degree will open doors to new possibilities in both the academic and professional worlds. One of the distinctive strengths of this program is its focus on English language teaching, a skill that continues to be in high demand in the modern educational landscape. Our courses emphasize communicative competence, intercultural awareness, and the use of technology in language instruction, preparing graduates not only to teach English effectively, but to inspire a new generation of bilingual and globally minded citizens. At UPEC, you will learn from expert professors, collaborate with peers who share your passion, and engage in research and innovation projects that address the real challenges of language education in our communities. Our commitment is to form educators who are leaders, teachers who not only transmit knowledge, but also create, innovate, and transform. We invite you to be part of this academic journey in online education with our master's program. We have open registration and enrollment during the months of November, December, January, and February, and we start classes in March 2026. Because teaching a language means opening minds, building bridges, and shaping the future, we welcome you and we invite you to be part of this program. If you need more information, my colleague Paola Velasco over there has all of the rest of the information just in case you have questions. Thank you very much for your attention. Continue with the program.
Okay, in this part of the day, we have the opportunity to win some prizes. It's for this reason that I would like to invite Alex Fernandez, PhD, to continue with the next raffle.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So, welcome to the people who are coming from Colombia because you arrived a little late, but very welcome. We hope that you really enjoy this event. Okay, once again, remember the Red Ecuador TESOL. We are waiting for your support, for your help, for your contributions. So some ladies are around you where you can get the tickets for this raffle. Okay, we have the opportunity to get 3 extra primes today. So before going to the conferences that we have for you the rest of the afternoon. Okay, so let's check. If we're ready, yeah. Someone would like to get some extra tickets, you have some seconds to do it. Right? Okay. So. No more. Okay. So, until what number do we have the raffle? Yeah, okay. It's coming here. So remember to get, tomorrow also we are going to have some prizes for you, so we hope that you can get some tickets once again, okay? During the sections between the changes, you also can get those tickets, right? And one extra thing, remember that we are going to have a special winner, right? Who will be this special winner? The person who posted on your own Facebook a photo, a reel, or set of photos for this convention, right? And you need to tag us with the Red Ecuador TESOL, right? In your Facebook, in your Insta, or in your Facebook account, right? So let me check it out. Okay. So remember, you can take a photo, you can make a video, you can make a reel. okay? And you need to tag us, Red TESOL Ecuador. This is how you find us on on Facebook. This is our fan page. And you need to use any of these hashtags. You can use Red TESOL Ecuador, you can use TESOL Ecuador 2025, Third TESOL Convention, EABL Community Ecuador, or TESOL Professionals, okay? Those are the options that you have, so you just need to take a photo. If you make in group, is better, or you can make a reel, and the person who has the most number of likes will get the final prize for tomorrow, okay? So, let's now get the raffle.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here again to give the numbers of the raffle. And right now, the winners are first winner, number 150. Somebody has the number 150? No? Nobody? Okay. We're going to the next number, and it is number 61. Somebody has a number 61? Please check the number in your ticket. 61? A round of applause, please. So sad. I didn't know either. Okay, we're going with the raffle once more, and the winners are the numbers. No. 154. 154. Somebody has the number 154? Nobody. Oh my God. Number 100. 100. No. Okay, number 61. No? Nobody. Nobody has the number 61. Okay. 11. Number 11. Nobody has the number 11 on their ticket. Number 11. No. And now, 202. 202. 202? Oh, 11. Please check the numbers. Finally. Okay, again, please check the numbers on your ticket. Now, number 189. 189. 189. Nobody. Okay. 218. 218. Nobody again. Okay. 110. 110. No. 99. No. 99. Oh, this is so sad. And finally, number 89. No, 89. Do I keep saying numbers? 3 more times. Okay. 70. Number 70. ¿Ah? ¿Qué número digo? ¿Qué número digo? Okay, 2 more numbers. 1, 2, 2, 1. 2 more. Okay, 2 more numbers. Number 47. Yay! 47. Es que solo han cogido números bajos, parece. Okay, those were the prices. Huh? Okay, thank you very much for your participation. Congratulations to the winner. And now I please invite you to the next building so we can continue with this conference. Thank you very much. ¿No tiene un nombre ese edificio? ¿No tiene un nombre?
Hola, hola. Please, teachers, don't go. We need you here to take a photograph, please. Before going to the other building to continue with the conferences, we kindly invite you to take a picture with all of us. So please, everybody, come in front to the official photograph that we are going to publish. Please, very